Welcome to the Daily Plunge. We are going through the Acts of the Apostles, the book of Acts. We're in chapter 19, verses 21 through 41. Now, Paul is in the city of Ephesus, and it turns out that Ephesus had a big industry in making idols, especially idols for the goddess Artemis. There was a shrine there. And one guy figured out, this guy Demetrius figures out that if Christianity is about worshiping one God, not lots of different gods or goddesses, that this might be a problem for his bottom line. And so he stirs it up with his fellow idol mercantile friends and says, hey, we got a problem here because all these people are being led astray. Now, I want you to think about that phrase about being led astray. And it's a claim that's been made over and over again about Christianity that it led people astray from ways that are broken and shallow and hollow. And people today still think that, well, if you become a Christian, you're going to be led astray from the things that this society values. And the values of the society are not good because they're based in sin. We all struggle with this. So let me be clear about that. It's not like Christians don't have a problem with sin. But let's back up and look at this. There's this mob of idol goddess worshipers, and Demetrius is stirring them up, and he's saying, look, the danger is that Paul and these Christians are saying that an idol made by human hands is no God at all, that it's worthless. And that's still the point today that we say as Christians. And Demetrius was right, that as people become Christian, they should move away from false idols. Now, what's funny is they seize a couple of these leaders that Paul has raised up, and Paul wants to go there to the middle of this riot to try to speak sense into them. There's no speaking sense into people who are determined to hate Christ, right? This is not about logic. And sometimes as leaders, we have to recognize we just have to let go of things and let God be at work in it. Now, it's funny because this Jewish leader from the synagogue tries to speak, and once they find out he's Jewish, they're like, oh, we don't want to hear anything from you. We're about the worship of our goddess. And this unnamed city clerk calms them down, right? He calms down the mob and says, hey, this is not good. But he lies to them. He says that the Christian faith won't challenge goddess worship. That the world, this is one of the claims they're making, that the world's going to be robbed of her divine majesty. He says, oh no, that Christianity won't do that. And I think it's a yes and no. That yes, that is, if there's only one God, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, that yes, all these other gods will go away. But the other thing we know is that because of sin, all these gods and goddesses are still very much alive in a whole variety of ways in our world. So how does Christian faith put a crimp on the idol worship business in our day? Creating idols is still a big business, and they still think they need to protect the goddess. And so does Jesus Christ move you away from those idols? Well, let's have a blessed day.